In Europe, where European Union leaders have agreed on a plan to block more than two-thirds of Russian oil imports. The ban will only affect oil that arrives by sea, but not by pipeline oil, following opposition from Hungary. European Council Chief Charles Michel says the deal cut off a huge source of financing for the Russian war machine. It is a part of a sixth package of sanctions approved at a summit in Brussels, which all 27 members have had to agree on. We have more details in this report.
Russia currently supplies 27% of the EU's imported oil and 40% of its gas. The European Union pays Russia around 400 billion euros a year in return. So far, no sanctions on Russian gas exports to the EU have been put in place, although plans to open a new gas pipeline from Russia to Germany have been frozen. EU members spent hours struggling to resolve their differences over the ban on Russian oil imports, with Hungary its main opponent. The compromise followed weeks of wrangling until it was agreed there would be a temporary exemption for oil that comes through pipelines to the EU, Mr. Michel told newsmen.
The risk of interruption, and in case of interruption, and if the interruption is not the consequence of a decision taken by a government of one of the landlocked country, it means that we have decided to take the appropriate measures in order to react and to make sure that we will protect the security of supply. This is a very important element that we have decided to take into account, and I think this is fair.
Because of this, the immediate sanctions will affect only Russian oil being transported into the EU over sea, two-thirds of the total imported from Russia. But in practice, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said the scope of the ban would be wider because Germany and Poland have volunteered to wind down their own pipeline imports by the end of this year.
Will show that there is clarity that fairness will prevail. To replace in the southern Druzhba the oil, Russian oil, that goes to Hungary. There is in place in Croatia the Adria pipeline.
The ban on Russian oil imports was initially proposed by the European Commission, which develops laws for member states a month ago, but resistance, notably from Hungary, which imports 65% of its oil from Russia through pipelines, held up the EU's troubled latest round of sanctions. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán declared the agreement a victory for his country. Other landlocked countries, such as Slovakia and the Czech Republic, also asked for more time due to their dependence on Russian oil. Bulgaria, already cut off from Russian gas by Gazprom, had likewise sought opt-out. The cost of living crisis being felt across Europe has not helped either.
The Hungarian position is very simple, because energy is a serious issue. It's not a kid game, yeah. So it's serious. So it means that first we need solutions and then the sanctions.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister of Poland has told newsmen that Europe will always be under threat of blackmail from Russian President Vladimir Putin if Ukraine loses the war with his country.
If Europe and the free world loses this battle, loses this war, we are not going to be safe any longer.